Hey, 2 cents, Josh and Spence. We're your hosts, Josh.
Spence.
What's up, baby?
Not much. Let's get right into it, huh? Little numbers
Should we
check.
just talk numbies?
New weekly thing.
You got a fresh sub out there.
Yep. We do have one more subscriber. Thank you, subscriber.
Thank you, subscriber.
Dustin also mentioned something pretty cool too.
I feel like if we had a map and we started coloring in where everybody was listening from, like pretty soon that whole map is going to be colored in because we are now in Indonesia.
Let's go.
Just like that.
We've got one listener out there in Indonesia. I want to figure out how to get a hold of this guy.
2 cents for Josh and Spence is now in America. What?
What?
Australia? What? London,
Crikey, mate.
England? What? Indonesia? What? Heck yeah, dude. Hey, Thanks for listening. So today we're going to be about, sometimes we find ourselves in a little bit of a funk.
Yep.
Right?
A lot of time I find myself in a little bit of a rut.
Sometimes we get a little funked up.
Right.
And we got to learn to unfunk ourselves.
How do we get out of it? What are we going to do?
How do we get out of funk?
Can't stay in it.
I feel like
Can't stay there. That's what a loser does.
Well, number one, we gotta identify like, hey, this isn't us. This is just the funk that we're in. So we got to name the beast.
Okay.
Okay.
Like
all of a sudden you see it. Like the movie Jaws was so scary. Well, I'm talking to the audience because you haven't seen it because you're a child.
Oh.
Movie Jaws, right?
Black and white movie.
Super scary because we don't see it. All of a sudden at the end we see this big shark. Oh, let's just throw a bottle in his mouth, shoot the bottle, explode the shark. No big deal.
Is the shark not that big or what?
Well, he's pretty good size.
Okay.
pretty healthy.
But
eating a lot of people.
pretty easy to get rid of, it sounds like.
I mean, you don't want to spoil it for you. But, at the end of all 4 of the movies, he... But so like identifying, like, okay, I'm not this person. I'm just in a funk. Okay. So how do we unfunk ourselves? So I feel like the number one strategy, which seems to be pretty universal across, like self-help and all, just whatever, personal development, is just giving gratitude. Like, what can we be grateful for? Because it's been scientifically proven that you can't be grateful and pissed off at the same time. So
yeah, this is easier said than done.
Oh, very much, very much. So then the question is, like, what's the easiest way to start giving gratitude? So this is one kind of like how I've started my prayer in the morning is just like saying thank you, like over and over again. I don't know why. It's almost like and I'll say that with like Ellery. Like I'll pick her up and then on the walk from the car to daycare, I'll be like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't know. It's just something that I started doing and I kind of like it. I'll just say the same thing. Like, thank you, 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 thank you. Like on the way to the bathroom and on the way in the shower, whatever. And then once you kind of get in that mindset and then start like, what do I have to be grateful for right now? And then you can always do, or not always or everybody, but like pretty standard, like I'm thankful for my family and thankful for my health, thankful for my, whatever. But then like getting much more specific.
I was going to say, it's kind of fun to think of something that you have never thought about before.
Well, it's a cool game too, because it helped.
Right.
So like imagine you did this every morning, you thought of 5 or 10 or, 1 or 3 or 5 or 10 different things to be grateful for. So instead of I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my health, I'm grateful that, I was able to get out of bed and my back didn't hurt this morning. I'm grateful for the fact that I have hot water in the shower. I'm grateful,
Grateful that I don't have a plugged nose. Because when you do have a plugged nose,
that's tough.
You're like, oh, I wish I was more grateful for the times that I didn't have a plugged nose. So that and a sore throat, always be grateful for that, people.
100%. Like imagine like anytime you get a sore throat, like I swear I will never take this for granted again.
Yeah.
Like,
man, I miss not having a sore throat.
Release me from this burden and I will will never be ungrateful again.
Go ahead, take a second, be thankful that you don't have a sore throat right now. Yep.
That is an unplugged nose there,
both
people.
Nostrils, let's go.
So that's a big one. But again, instead of the generic like, hey, X, Y, and Z over and over again. Like try to find something different. Like I'm grateful for that I have a vehicle. I'm grateful that I can afford to put gas in the tank. I'm grateful that it's got air in the tires, you know? And then it just kind of gets your mind, like we've talked about this many times, like what you focus on expands, and all of a sudden that gets your mind looking for more things to be grateful for. So being grateful, and everybody can kind of do that in their own way. Like some people, like you can just do that through your, so just do that through prayer or through meditation, or you just be grateful to the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
But just find what you have to be grateful for.
I've got this planner that I've found has been very helpful for me. It like part of the daily thing is to write down 3 things that you're grateful for, and I try to like challenge myself to never write the same one. But yeah, I mean that's always fun. Writing it down is a big one, but again, easier said than done.
100%. But when
definitely missed quite a few days.
100%. And yet, when you're done, though, like I've never done that and been in the same state as I was before I started.
Right.
You know, like you're never. That's going to reframe your mindset in that moment. Or I would challenge you to do that. It's never been my experience that I'm like, oh, still super pissed.
Yep.
Hasn't been the case for me. Yeah. What else?
Yep.
So we're super grateful. Now what?
Yep. My big one is just taking some kind of action. So exercise is huge. Move your body. This every single time, it never fails. Even though I know this, sometimes I still don't do it and I hate it. But yeah, you exercise a little bit and it's like, oh, I feel so much better. But it could be make a to-do list, check some things off, clean the house. We were talking about that.
Yeah, I found that to be true. For me, exercise has always been a big one. Like that just chemically, like it releases those feel good endorphins and, whatever. And then just kind of that sense of accomplishment. That you get afterwards is just good stuff. It naturally boosts your energy, and then it's like, oh, if I can do that, what else can I do? Yep. And then we were also talking about this off camera, like so many times, like you get in a funk because you feel like you got a million things to do. Like, oh my God, I gotta do. Well, it's like, oh, what if you wrote all those things down, and then prioritize them, and then all of a sudden just start checking them off through like taking that massive action. So instead of just sitting there, it's only going to get worse. Or you can like take that massive action, then all of a sudden you got 10 things to do, and in 15 minutes, 8 of them are done.
Right.
Then all of a sudden that just kind of creates momentum for the day. And then that's like building that confidence in you, where you're like, instead of feeling like a victim, you're like, no, I get stuff done. I do what I say I'm going to do. And then that helps remind you of who you are.
Yeah.
Champ.
I want to ask you this. What does your funk look like? Like what's going through that brain of yours when you're in a funk?
Oh, I'll get down.
Yeah.
I'll get down in those dumps, dude.
Is it like your mood, or because like for me it's like I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and do nothing, watch TV.
I just turn into a huge victim where I'm like, it's like you want to do big things, or you want to do things, you want to have this life, or you want to do things, and then all of a sudden now you got to do the things that are required to do those things, and then you complain about it.
Right.
Like even today, like I don't feel great. I was tired. It's like, oh man, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to come in for scripts. I don't want to come, I don't want to whatever. It's like, then you get in this mindset, this entitled mindset. Like, I shouldn't have to do that anymore. They should be able to do that. Or why do I got to do this? It's like, you just go into this negative rabbit hole, and then like you get into that poor me thing. Like I say it all the time. I'm like a recovering victim.
Yeah.
And I'll still I'll still slide in there for sure.
Do you like catch yourself right away when you're in a funk? Because like for me, it almost takes a little bit, and I realize like, oh, I have not been myself for the past couple of hours. What's going on?
I will, yes and no. Like there'll be times where I'm like, I just said something dumb. I just said something that a punk would say, or I just thought something a punk would think, And then there's other times where you look up, you know, because like there's different factors to it. Like weather plays a huge factor. So like it gets nice out and you're like, oh man, I got all this energy. And you're like,
Yep.
oh, I just spent 5 months without having all that. I'm like, what happened? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's always a bittersweet thing where you're like, hey, I got all this energy, but then you reverse that and it's like, I've been a zombie for the last 5 months. But I've been trying to do that a lot more lately, especially as I've been getting more spiritual and praying more and being more like I definitely more convicted of things that I wouldn't have been convicted for otherwise. You know, like somebody'll do something and, you know, make me mad, or I'll catch myself being, you know, just being crabby toward that person, you know, and be like, that's now I'm doing stuff I shouldn't be doing. Like I'm, you know, either I'm like coveting what they have, or I'm envious, or I'm this or that. And then, so like I catch myself. And that doesn't mean that I stop it. Like I still pissed, still want to talk trash about it. Still want to throw darts at that guy's face, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, not a great example or whatever, but there are times that I catch myself right away. I'm like, no, that was dumb. But then there's other times where it's more insidious and more like, oh shoot. But that goes to like that consistency and the compound effect and all that, to where if you know what a great day looks like, and then you keep kind of stacking those on top of each other, then the likelihood of a funk setting in can happen.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like
Sure.
if every day you're going to the gym and every day you're doing all those things, the likelihood of getting into a funk is less.
Yeah. And I think not taking action, or like the gym is such an easy example, but it could be anything, you know, not cleaning the house or something. You're more likely to get put into that funk, where if you do it right away in the morning, you know, you wake up early and you go to the gym. For me, it sets me up just to have a great day.
Oh, yeah.
I like, no matter what happens, it's like, well, I went to the gym. Like I did the one thing that I told myself that I was going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it gives you that confidence and stuff. But another thing, like, there's something about just, I feel like sweating is just some kind of like detox for your body, like a sauna. Yeah. Oh man, I feel so good if I'm in a funk. Put me in a sauna for 15 minutes and I come out just a different person. And then like you just deep clean your body. Oh man. Love that.
Sweat out the toxins.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some. I mean, there's a bunch of health benefits of the sauna as well. Like it's good for your heart and good for your whatever and good. But yeah, it's like a state change. You know, like you're just here, but now all of a sudden you're sweating.
Male audience, it's all right, dude.
Yeah, I want to be the best version of myself. But yeah, it's like that state change. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, cool. And two, there's just something about doing hard things.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I did that, and now I'm the guy that can do that.
But it's that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah, and there's just something about being congruent with your values, right? So if you value, or like, what's a good?
Josh blacked out.
I didn't black out per se, but like if you identify or value like being fit and having your stuff together, right? And then all of a sudden maybe that's like that at the office, but then you go home and your house is a mess, and there's, you know, then you're not in alignment with who you say you are. So for me, I say like I'm a energetic, like an energetic, healthy person. And I like to be the problem solver. I don't like to be the problem. I like to be the problem solver. I like to be a helper. So when I'm like being a victim and feel like I need help, you know, or like I just, you know, I like to have my stuff together, right? And then you go home and feel, or maybe you're at home it's like that, but then you get to the office and you feel like it's not like that. You just being out of alignment with who you either say you are or who you want to be is.
I learned this a month ago, and it makes a little over a month ago, and it makes total sense. Like, you're telling yourself that you are those things. So when you aren't doing things like that, you are breaking that promise to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's like you're losing confidence. Well, it's easy to get into a funk if you're not confident in yourself, or whatever. You don't have that self-confidence. Obviously, you're gonna, oh, I'm having a crappy day, or oh, I suck at this. And so what do? You got to take action, do something that you know that you can accomplish, and start building that confidence back up. So
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, usually massive action is a cure-all for any of your woes. And it doesn't have to be like just money or health or whatever, but like if you're not in a good spot with your relationship, like what's some kind of massive action you could take that would be helpful,
Yeah.
And then that rights the ship and then gets you going in a better direction.
Yeah.
What else we got on there?
Something about just taking care of yourself. So we've talked about this a lot, like
Treat yourself.
Getting a haircut, going to the chiropractor.
Yep.
Deep clean your body. I say deep clean my body a lot.
Yeah.
My wife just says that's a shower. There's a deep clean shower and then there's a shower for me. I don't know if you guys are like that.
Deep clean that.
Dustin, you just take showers. You don't have like a deep clean where you're telling me like every time you shower, you're like cleaning like behind your ears. And let's be honest. See, yeah. Thank you, Josh.
No,
I'm cleaning my chest down to my knees in a normal shower, and that's it.
No, the deep. I don't know. I can't get on board with the deep clean. You can call it anything else. Like I can't get on board. I can't get on board with it. Dude.
All right, dude. Whatever, man.
But yeah, and again, like if
I mean, go and get a massage, or do something for yourself.
Yeah, and then too, like another part of being, like go out and hit some golf balls or do something for you. Go for a walk, go for a whatever, and just get outside because like there's an old saying like sunlight, fresh air, and good food, and exercise are the 4 best doctors in the world or whatever. So like that'll absolutely do it. Should absolutely do it too. But yeah, whatever that thing is for you, like if you want to go like get yourself a special little coffee or something, or go get yourself a special little shake, well, treat yourself.
Yeah.
Treat yourself congruent with who you want to be. So like again,
sure.
if I value being healthy, like treating myself to a Blizzard is probably not congruent with, but treating myself to a Herbalife shake that I like would be.
Yeah, for sure. Another one we talked about a little bit is like do something good for someone else.
Oh, service!
Ooh. Tell me a little bit about that. Give us some examples.
I don't know. I mean, like a super simple. A super small example would be like, you're walking into the office and you see garbage on the, like, pick up the garbage.
Yeah.
Pick the garbage, put it in the trash.
Yep.
Don't ask for a high five, or don't have to be like, hey, see me pick up that garbage and then put in the, you see that.
Put your shopping cart in the shopping cart.
Don't be a psychopath, people. Like it takes all of us.
I'll sometimes do that, and like as I'm walking, so I put my shopping cart back in, like, what would you call it, a rack? Or
the cart
corral. You put it back in there, and then you're like walking past all the other shopping carts that are also out, and you're like, I'm the best person of all time. So you just go and you have to grab these other shopping carts too to put them away.
Takes a lot of time to be the best person, person around.
Great human.
But so it can be something as simple as that, like holding the door for somebody, or like you see somebody in the office and it looks like they might be, like go volunteer your time to help them out or whatever. It doesn't have to be a grand, like, hey, I'm going to volunteer 4 hours of my day to whatever, go sandbag,
fold clothes,
which you certainly can do, but
we'll cut that.
But it doesn't have to be overly grand or whatever, but just do something nice for somebody else, or think of somebody else and send somebody a text that maybe you don't text with all the time. Be like, hey, and that could be a part of that gratitude exercise. Like, who are all the people I'm grateful for? And then try to think of different people, and then just send them a text. Be like, hey man, I was just thinking about you today, and grateful to know you. You're an awesome person. I loved our time together at so and so or whatever. Hope you have an awesome day.
Heck yeah.
And then that's makes you feel better. And then that would certainly make them, I would imagine. I've never actually gotten one of those texts. So 701-360-1736.
Yep.
You know, if you want to, whatever. But yeah, that'll make you feel better. That'll make them feel better.
For sure.
You know, and it could be more grand than that, but it could be as simple as holding the door open for somebody, or, you know, just offering to help, or just have your eyes open for like where I could be. Cause like I feel like anytime you're looking inward, you're set up, you're going to be less happy when you're looking outward, right?
Oh,
how can
sure.
how can I help or care for somebody else?
Yeah.
And this is one thing that I got myself a therapist a couple weeks ago. Just cause like my whole kind of thing for myself moving forward is like alignment. Like I want everything to be in alignment. Like I'm sick of like feeling like work needs to be here and home needs to be here and spirituality needs to be like, I just want everything to be in alignment with each other. So one of my, found one of my like things that I valued, like personal growth and contribution, right? So I always used to think those are out of alignment. Like, when I'm at home, because I feel like I need to be doing like these big grand things, like you need to start a charity, you need to start like a foundation, you need to be doing like big cool things, and then the gal was like, couldn't you reframe that and just think of like maybe some of your personal growth and or like contributing, your contribution can be at home, like time with your kids, to like really focus time with your kids, or like. So when your wife asks you to go to Menards at 7:30 on a Sunday, instead of being like, how could you expect me to do that? I got a big day tomorrow. It's like, no, like this is an opportunity for me to now like serve my wife. Right. So that has been a big game changer that, still a work in progress, but that was a real example. So like last Sunday, she's like, hey, can you please go to Menards? And my initial reaction was like, oh, that's unbelievable. I had all day to whatever. But then like, no, it's a perfect opportunity to be helpful and serve my beautiful bride.
Heck yeah.
Homecoming queen, Grafton High School, 2004.
Oh.
So anyway, but doing something for something. So if I'm focused inward on like, this is BS, like why should I have to do this? I got a big day. It's like, no, like focus outward,
Yeah.
you know, like Jesus washing other people's feet, like do that instead. And then all of a sudden took something that could have been a huge pain in the butt, and now it's an opportunity because now it's in alignment with who I want to be. It just fit.
Heck yeah.
Never said that out loud. That was a rambling way to get there, but hopefully that makes sense. Like anytime you're internal, like thinking me, that's usually a recipe for a funk.
Right. Okay. Well, cool, man. So five points to focus on: gratitude.
What?
Take some action.
What?
Check things off. Have a to-do list. Service, doing stuff for someone else, and then do things for yourself.
Deep clean.
Deep clean your body, man. Take a shower. You stink. Josh, don't talk to me about hygiene, okay?
Hey.
We better end this podcast before things get bad.
It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly.
Oh, watch for deer.
Shake a bug. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like that, I know you're going to like this one right here. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Watch for deer and shake a bug.